says we're back on board with the circuit here at Pyra. Here's the race leaders. Oh, there are all sorts of problems.
Oh, big carnage. Oh, straight to the barriers. And through the smoke we come. What a crash!
Hi, and welcome to this week's Retro Motorsport. First up, it's the crazy jumps and turns that is Supercross. It's the 2011 New Zealand Championships.
Supercross is back on the map in New Zealand with World MX stars Ben Townley and Josh Coppins making their presence felt last season and this season. All of New Zealand's top riders face off in the lights and open classes for the 2011 Backflips New Zealand SuperCross Championships, supported by Demon Energy. Heading into round one in Tokoroa, we caught up with reigning lights champ Mason Phillips. Mason, reigning 1 NZ in the lights class, how's preparation gone for you for the build up to the 11 season?
Pretty good. I actually haven't spent too much time riding a 250F before the start of this, but definitely spent a lot of time riding a 450 at my home Supercross track. So, hey, well, my fitness is pretty good and I feel good on the bike for practice and qualifying. So, yeah, racing is going to be difficult with this rain and there's a lot of guys going fast. So, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a challenge tonight.
Pushing Phillips all the way to the 1NZ crown in lights was Motueka's Scott Collum, wanting to go one better for 2011. Scott, rocking into the new season for the Backflips New Zealand Supercross Championship. You're number 2 on your bike, but you want that number 1 back from the previous year.
Yeah, that's all I want is number 1. You know, number 2 is the first loser, and I've got to prove myself this year and then get back on that top step. You know, I was highly disappointed last year about losing the title, but this year will be different. You know, riding my off-road adventures, Suzuki bike, and looking forward to the new season. I've had a few months off and just been relaxing and things like that. So looking forward to the new series, the new format, the Backflips Supercross Championship, they'll come on board. So it's going to be fun, and the format tonight is a little bit different. It's back-to-back races, so we'll get the intensity up there on the old Heart, and it'll be a good night. And the conditions are a little bit greasy as well, so it's will be entertaining, keep me on my toes.
So the first round of the Backflips New Zealand Supercross Championships here in Tokoroa. We're going to have a look at the highlights from the lights up first. Keeping an eye out for reigning 1 NZ Mason Phillips. Getting the whole shot, 94 Kane Lamont on the RMZ 250. Great start for him. Peter Broxham slots into the second position in the number 3 Honda. Big block pass there from the 701 of Brad Groombridge. He'll be one to watch for the SX Lights Championship for 2011. Mason Phillips back there in about the 6th position. So Brad Groombridge under pressure from the current 2 NZ Scott Collum. Collum out of Motueka on the off-road adventures Alpine Star RMZ 450. As Groombridge and Collum both get around Kane Lamont for the race lead. Mason Phillips still struggling back there through the field, just picking up some of the ticker tape from the side of the circuit. So up into the 3rd position goes Phillips, really trying hard in trying conditions. Battle for the lead between Scott Collum and Brad Groombridge with the white flag left to go. So tricky conditions, a little bit of light rain, just making the track pretty sticky. Big pass there from Groombridge. Scott Collum trying to come back at him off the inside, just about stalling. So it's been frenetic action. You can see how much rain there is over the top of the circuit. And out of the final corner, Groombridge and Phillips get together. Scott Collum with the victory. Mason Phillips down. Scott Collum taking the win from Peter Broxham and Nick Saunders. So some controversy there in the first heat. No Mason Phillips. A suspected broken collarbone for the reigning 1 NZ. Brad Groombridge, though, got back up and finished in the 5th position. Heat 2, Nick Saunders with the whole shot on the first lap. Twilight Tokoroa in front of a packed house. Sensational Supercross circuit. Collum with the big block pass, this time on the 170 of Craig Smith. Riding the Honda CRF 250 with sponsorship from Timaru Honda and Fly. So Scott Collum looking to take advantage of the demise of Mason Phillips from the first heat. Battles for the Miners. Nick Saunders, Peter Broxham, and Brad Groombridge on the 701 out of Taupo. Peter Broxham making a return to Supercross, getting out of shape, and down goes the Honda rider. Undoes some good work in the second heat for SX Lights from Tokoroa. Also going down, Kane Lamont. So just highlighting the tricky conditions for the SX Lights. No problems though for Scott Collum out in front, battle for second. Craig Smith and Brad Groombridge. Groombridge on the RNZ 250, sponsored by Action Suzuki, Pro Shield and Bridgestone. Big pass there on Smith. Through to second goes the recovering Brad Groombridge. Scott Collum, control out in front, 2 out of 2 for the reigning 2NZ. With Brad Groombridge in second, Craig Smith in third. Going into the third and final race here at Tokoroa for the SX Lights. Scott Collum leading on points. Craig Smith this time with the whole shot up the inside. Nick Saunders with a strong start on the Kawasaki. Out to the lead though, it's the 96 of Tom Manor. Chased by Scott Collum. Craig Smith rear wheel in the air off the whoops. Collum looking to get back into the lead, which he does already on the first lap. Craig Smith battling with Manor for the second spot, goes to the outside. Side by side over the tabletop. Peter Broxham trying to work his way back through. Battling there with the 96 of Tom Manor, who's just fallen back after that great opening lap pace. Brad Groombridge though, the big mover, chasing down the race leader Scott Collum. Here's the battle for third and fourth, Craig Smith and Peter Broxham. On the two Hondas, Peter Broxham on the Blue Wing Honda CRF. Into the third spot, here he goes. Battle for the lead, Collum trying to hold off. Brad Groombridge, white flag, 1 to go. Can Collum make it 3 out of 3? Just looks to be struggling a little bit as Groombridge goes around him at the first turn. So Brad Groombridge through to the race lead in the Action Suzuki RNZ 250. Collum trying to come back at him off the whoops. Makes the pass. Groombridge though with the block pass off the exit. Can he hold on for just a couple more corners? Brad Groombridge takes the third and final heat from Scott Collum. Peter Broxham in third. Scott Collum, the points leader after the first round for SX Lights from Tokoroa. He leads on 57 points. Brad Groombridge on 48. Peter Broxham on 40, followed by Jaden Jessup, Craig Smith and Nick Saunders.
Definitely a good start to the championship. You know, I had quite a few months off, about 6 months off the bike, you know, and I hadn't prepared that well for the first one. So I was huffing a bit out there and had a bit of arm pump. But in the second moto, I just twisted my knee a bit, and I think I might have done some damage to it. I crashed about a week ago in training and went down in a heap. And yeah, I'll probably have an MRI scan on Monday or Tuesday. I'll organise that, and we'll see how it is then. But yeah, it was a good night. And fingers crossed that I don't have too much major damage to my knee, and that I'll be able to compete in the next few. But I'll have another week off and ice it and rest it, and hopefully get some riding in on the bike, you know, and get a little bit fitter. Scott's carrying a knee injury at the moment, so I think he gave that a bit of a tweak, and yeah, managed to squeeze through for the win in the last moto.
Lots going on. You've got to be happy though. Second in the points going to round 2.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to my hometown for the second round, so I'm happy about that, and I know that track. I've done a few laps around there, so I'm looking forward to it.
And it's a stellar lineup in the open class, headlined by the return of World Championship motocross star Josh Coppins. Josh, welcome back to New Zealand. It's been a little while. How long has it been since you last raced here?
10 years since I've been here and at this particular track, and 6 years since I rode Supercross on a 450, and 2 years since I rode Supercross at all. So got a lot to learn tonight, but learning fast, and I'm pretty sure I can do well.
Good start in qualifying. You've qualified first, and obviously now since then the conditions have changed like 180 degrees.
Yeah, when the conditions go like this, it makes it a bit of a lottery, a bit more of a, let's say, you just have to be really careful, and you know, luck needs to go your way a little bit, and good starts is really important as always, and yeah, keep it on 2 wheels, and 3 good starts and on 2 wheels and 3 races, and you'll have a good chance to win tonight.
One of the top challenges for Josh Coppins will be Cody Cooper, another rider with World Championship experience on the Team Power Balance Suzuki RMZ 450. Cody back into New Zealand Supercross. Unfortunately, no Ben Townley to play with, but then someone brought in a guy by the name of Josh Coppins.
Yeah, no, it's good. I was looking forward to racing both of them, but I ended up, Ben hurt himself in the Australian SuperX, but he's mending up, and Josh has put in some good laps out there, so it's going to be a good race for sure. And then we got this rain on top of it to mix it up a bit, but it's going to be good for sure.
So waiting in anticipation for the first heat for Open here at Tokoroa. Heat number 1, backflips, New Zealand Supercross champs. Coppins with not a bad start, but one of the Suzuki's got the jump. It's 81, Travis Russell. He gets out of shape and the whoop's right in front of Coppins. And it's Coppins' young teammate, Hayden Clark, with the pass and through to the lead. Goes the former New Zealand junior champ. First ever run tonight in the senior class. So Coppins with a little bit of work to do. Hayden Clark with the whip. Leads it on the first lap. Clark taking control, chased all the way by Josh Coppins in the first heat. The two teammates running for the MXDK Rockstar Yamaha team. Clark, can he hold on? In behind him in third is the 201 Honda of Justin McDonald, the reigning New Zealand motocross champion. Coppins with an inside run, on the way to the checkered flag. Clark holding on to it to the final couple of corners. Coppins goes high. Clark's going to hold on for a fairy tale first heat victory. Josh Coppins in second, Justin McDonald in third. On to Moto 2. Coppins this time with the whole shut up the inside to the tricky first corner. They're 4 wide out of it. Cody Cooper looking to get back on towards the podium. Finished 4th in the first heat. Goes to the outside of Coppins. Side by side. Michael Phillips in there in the number 105 Honda. The Honda Hamilton Pirelli. Number 105. Coppins with the race lead. Big whip there from Phillips. As Coppins driving away, the battle for second between Cody Cooper, Michael Phillips and Justin McDonald. Phillips goes around the outside of Cooper. McDonald right there with them. Coppins with a couple of second advantage up the track. As Phillips makes the mistake, drops back to 4th, Cooper back to 2nd, McDonald into 3rd. But for heat number 2, it will be Josh Coppins, his first win of the night, the former Motocross World Championship star from Cody Cooper and Justin McDonald. Cooper leading the points going into the 3rd moto. Again, a great start from the veteran from Motueka in the MXDK Rockstar Yamaha. So the battle here for the podiums behind Coppins, McDonald, Cody Cooper, Hayden Clark. Hayden Clark didn't get a great start at the start of this one, and he's way back through the field. Coppins looking for 2 out of 3. And he controlled it to the line. Coppins with the victory. The points leader heading into the next round in Taupo. Justin McDonald in second in that heat from Cody Cooper. So Josh Coppins, the points leader on 57. Justin McDonald second on 47. Cody Cooper in third on 43, followed by Hayden Clark, Michael Phillips and Jesse Donnelly. Josh, what a way to return you to New Zealand, but hey, your young teammate Hayden pushed you in that first heat.
Yeah, he was good. I had a couple of places where I maybe could have done a pass, but didn't really want to take my teammate out, and so I sort of just tried to push him and make a mistake, but he was good, he was solid, and congratulations to him.
A little bit too early in the championship to really be pushing things?
Yeah, first race, you just want to take it home. We saw Mason Phillips make a mistake too early, and I didn't want to make the same mistake, so I just took it steady and tried to take good points tonight, and that's what I did, so I'm happy.
A couple of fantastic gates in the 2nd and 3rd heats.
First heat was also good. I made a little mistake on the 2nd turn, so I'm happy with the Yamaha. It worked really well tonight. We had a couple of issues with setup, and then I really got my head around it for those last 2.
Got some momentum heading to Taupo.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I haven't ridden at this track for 10 years. Taupo's a brand new track. I've never ridden at, so we'll see how I go there.
Seemed to get quicker as you got on through the heats, sort of through heats 2 and 3?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's just getting used to the new bike, actually. We grabbed the new one out of the box last night and tried putting it together, and then had to hustle a few parts for today, but it all managed to pull through, so it was good.
And the competition's ever increasing. I mean, look, he's leading the points, Mr. Coppins.
You know, that's it. I mean, I don't doubt what he just did. It's from him. It's sort of what we expected. But at the same time, he's only human, and so are we. So bring it on.
We've got more on the other side of this. Don't go away. Round 2 from Taupo of the Backflips New Zealand SuperCross champs. Round 2 of the Backflips New Zealand SuperCross champs was held at the brand new Addiction SuperCross track in Taupo. Heading into the first lights heats, the big news was no Scott Collum or Brad Groombridge due to injury. Collum out with knee damage from round 1 and Groombridge out with a broken collarbone from an event in Te Puke. So in front of a huge crowd, a beautiful sunny afternoon in Taupo, the state-of-the-art Addiction Supercross track. SX Lights heat number 1. Craig Smith was the top qualifier from the pole shuffle. He led through into the first corner. Soft conditions here, which will probably catch a few riders out throughout the afternoon. Already with some dramas with some of the riders further back through the field. So Smith taking control of the first heat. Chasing him down would be Nick Saunders and the number 98 Yamaha of Ethan Martins. Joining the championship for the first time, young Australian Jackson Richardson right in the mix as well. On the letter J, Kawasaki. Quite a different circuit layout to Tokoroa. And a totally different track surface with this brand new facility. Tell you what, it's got some potential. This is the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. Martins, Richardson. Nick Saunders in 2nd. Jaden Jessup and Martins now going at it for the 4th and 5th spots. Craig Smith out in front, just on a different planet in this first moto. And there is the race leader on the Timaru Honda. CRF taking the first heat win from the Team Fly Kawasaki of Nick Saunders with the 98 of Ethan Martins in 3rd. SX Lights heat 2 at the Addiction Supercross track in Taupo. Smith again with the whole shot. Saunders up the inside, but Smith using that high line off the exit. Peter Broxham getting delayed. He's right back at the tail of this field. One thing's certain after this round is Kane Lamont has an issue. After the whoops, it will have a new championship leader. No Scott Collum, no Brad Groombridge, which effectively meant that Peter Broxham, Jessup and Smith were 1, 2 and 3 in the points. Smith leading heat 2 from Jackson Richardson. Clash there between Ethan Martin and I think Jaden Jessup. So Nick Saunders in the 3rd position. Kawasaki's 2 and 3. Craig Smith out of Timaru on the Honda looking for 2 for 2 and a possible championship lead. There's Jackson Richardson, the Australia. Nick Saunders in 3rd. Martins back up into 4th after that earlier clash. But for the 2nd heat, Craig Smith, 2 from 2, flashes under the McDonald's finish line from Jackson Richardson and Nick Saunders. Craig, outstanding start here at Taupo, 2 wins from 2 starts, and really at the start of this weekend, the championship was put on its head because we've got no Scott Collum and no Brad Groombridge, so we should see something a little bit different at the end of today.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good series this next few weeks and that. You know, there's heaps of good guys like Martins and Broxy and all that, so it's still, you know, it's still going to be a good series and that. It's just, it sort of sucks that Scotty and Ed are gone, but that's just part of racing, so at the end of the day you can only race who's there. But no, the track's good, I'm loving it, the whoops are good, everything's good.
What's been the big difference? I mean, you were 4th in the points after Tokoroa and already 2 wins here so far with 1 heat to go. What's been the difference?
Tokoroa had a good round, I felt good, I just didn't qualify as good as what I liked and just didn't go to plan. Maybe I was a bit unprepared, I don't know, but I just got arm pumped real bad. No excuse at the end of the day, you know, I still should have done a lot better than I did, but no, it was good, it was a good learning curve and I went home and worked harder and I thought, you know, I got to come out and win.
Nick, 6th in the points after Tokoroa and a good start already here at Taupo with, you know, some good finishes in the first 2 races.
Yeah, 2 solid positions, you know, 2nd and 3rd, so hometown, you know, ridden a lot of laps up here, so I really want to go, you know, 2 steps better if I can and stay on top of that podium, but, you know, it's a long season and still got 2 other rounds after this, so got the whole championship to think about.
Into the 3rd and final moto. SX Lights, Smith looking for 3 from 3 around the outside. Kane Lamont with a good start this time. Saunders with a very good start as well. That tricky whoop section. It's caught a lot of riders out throughout the weekend. Craig Smith, though, back through to the front. Saunders in second. It's also the second and final round of the North Island Supercross Championships. Jackson Richardson goes to work on Saunders for the second position. Two Kawasaki Fly teammates battling for the minors. Peter Broxham right in there with a big block pass on Saunders. Through to third goes the number 3 Blue Wing Honda CRF. Saunders, though, getting back around him. Took a little bit of pressure off Jackson Richardson. Craig Smith, though, with a massive lead already in the third and final heat, looking for the clean sweep. Saunders and Broxham go by Jackson Richardson. Richardson down. So the battle for third and fourth now becomes second and third. Saunders and Broxham. Broxham with a big block pass out of the final corner. Saunders is going to try the inside line. 2 lines through the infield. Saunders to the outside. Broxham to the inside. Broxham back into the second position. Has a quick look over his shoulder. Runs Saunders high up on the bank. That's the battle for second and third. The leader and the winner, though, Craig Smith, 3 from 3 from Peter Broxham and Nick Saunders. Craig Smith taking out the round victory and takes over the points lead after 2 rounds. 95 points. Nick Saunders second on 82. Peter Broxham third on 79, followed by Ethan Martins, Jaden Jessup and the injured Scott Collum. Craig, 3 from 3, a dominating performance here. Well worth the trip up from the South Island.
Thanks, man. Nah, it was good. Had a good night. Got good starts, which was the key, and got those whoops dialed out. So practice on them all week. Nah, it's good. Had a real fun night. So, yep, it's good.
Not only the round win, but it now puts you into the points lead after 2 rounds of the Backflips New Zealand Supercross Championship, and it's back down south for the next 2 at Motueka and hometown Timaru.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to those 2 rounds. I know Timaru's a good track. The McKnights have always got a good venue there, and Motueka got a real good menu too. So, no, it's going to be a good series, and still going to be good racing. You know, Meeson's going fast, Roxy's going fast, Garner's going fast, and the Aussie kid's going to be there. So it's still going to be good racing, but no, I'm looking forward to it. Just going to go home and train harder. You know, I want it way more than I did tonight, so it's going to be good.
So off the back of some fantastic action from the SX Lights, it's on to the open class. Round 2 of the Backflips New Zealand Supercross Championships. Cody Cooper, the top qualifier, gets the whole shot to turn number 1. 9:33, Jesse Donnelly trying to get the inside run. It's busy out of the first corner and already bites down further back in the field. As Cooper and Coppins go at it on the opening lap. Cooper with the whole shot, battles further back. Michael Phillips and Justin McDonald. It's the battle for third and fourth behind Cooper and Josh Coppins, the championship points leader after the first round in Tokoroa. McDonald second in the points, the reigning New Zealand motocross champ. Phillips down. That gives third to McDonald. So Michael Phillips down, just getting caught out after the whoops. Cody Cooper, the race leader at the halfway point of the first heat. Quick fire 8 lappers. And it's Cooper making the mistake. Similar to Michael Phillips, Josh Coppins through to the lead. Coppins leads on the MXDK Rockstar Yamaha. Cooper down. Cooper back in a battle for third and fourth with Hayden Clark, but Coppins takes the first heat from Justin McDonald. Cooper gets third. Josh, great result in the first heat, but Cody got you out the box and then he made a mistake, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. Luckily for me, you know, Coops is a great rider, so I didn't kind of expect that. I just tried to put a bit of pressure on him. Track's real tricky tonight, and you can't afford a mistake like that. So the next 2, I just got to try and improve on the start and keep it clean.
I got a good start, you know, and I felt confident in that, and yeah, just started checking out a little bit, so I was real happy with that. And then I come to the rut, you know, I got into it a couple of laps, and then the third lap I thought I'd, you know, try and rail a little bit harder, but it wasn't hard. It was just powder, and the front wheel went through, and yeah, just couldn't hold it up, and yeah, got pushed back to third and just sat there for the rest of the race. You know, pretty hard to get them guys. They're riding good at the moment at the end of that moto, so we've got 2 more and we'll see how it goes.
Came into the first corner with Josh and Cody, and I thought, well, this is a good start. And then I think it was like 2 or 3 laps into it, I just clipped one of the whoops. They're getting quite square-edged now, and clipped one and dropped me on the front wheel, and then just washed into the corner. And yeah, from there I was sort of struggling to get back into a rhythm. But no, we've got another 2 heats out there, so I'm amped and ready to go out there and try and make amends pretty much.
So some work to do for a couple of the riders having dramas in heat number 1. Heat number 2, the start, all important. here at the Addiction Supercross track. That looked like McDonald with the whole shot that time. Coppins wasn't too far away, and Cooper right there with them. Oh, down goes the 907 of Matt. Good game on the Suzuki. Cooper leads. Michael Phillips with a great start. Coppins on the inside. All chasing down Cody Cooper, battles further back Jesse Wickie and Hayden Clark. Clark runs up over the top of the berm. That's going to cost him some positions. Justin McDonald in the 4th position. Now 3rd, that's Phillips down for the 2nd race in a row. Michael Phillips has dropped the number 105 Honda. And that's lost him some spots. So Cody Cooper, he's got control here in the 2nd heat. He'll take the victory. Josh Coppins in 2nd, the championship leader, with Justin McDonald in 3rd.
Justin 2nd and 3rd in the first 2 races, and it looks like you've really got to be the first bike down into turn number 1 to make it stick.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. I mean, it's just hard at the moment. The track conditions are changing so rapidly, and then the works, you know, and to get into the first turn first and get across those works cleanly would definitely make the difference.
So it's all on for the 3rd and final heat from Taupo. Heat 3 for the SX Open class. Again, Cooper with the whole shot. Coppins right there with them. There was contact between the two. McDonald with another great start. That's Jesse Donnelly going down through the whoops. That part of the course has claimed some victims throughout the weekend. All the riders talking about it. That's what makes Supercross so much fun. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Michael Phillips and Justin McDonald for 3rd and 4th. Cody Cooper still leads from Josh Coppins. The 2 Hondas not too far away. Phillips looking to atone for those 2 falls in the first 2 heats. There's Jesse Wickie. The Honda shop, Hamilton CRF 450 Honda. We've got the Suzuki out in front, Yamaha 2nd, Honda's 3rd, 4th and 5th. McDonald to the inside of Phillips. Back up to 3rd for the reigning New Zealand Motocross champ. Phillips though trying to come back at him. But Cody Cooper, 2 out of 3. He will take out the final heat from Josh Coppins and Justin McDonald. So after round 2 at Taupo, Josh Coppins still with the championship lead on 111 points. 2nd, Cody Cooper on 98. Justin McDonald 3rd on 94, followed by Michael Phillips, and equal tie for Hayden Clark and Jesse Donnelly.
Cody, well done for the round. A 1-point victory over Coppins, but he's still got some points on you heading for round 3 for the championship.
Yeah, no, I feel real confident. I felt real fast tonight. Just a bit of a bobble in the first race. I got my start styled, you know, whole shot every race. Just the first race, I accidentally made a mistake myself. I thought the berm was quite hard and my front wheel went through it, and yeah, the rest was history from there. I ended up 3rd, so, but then I gathered it all up, got 1st in the 2nd one and 1st in the 3rd one. So, you know, I pulled a little bit of a gap, felt real comfortable with the speed, and yeah, just sat there and for the 8 laps, and then it was good. I was real happy with it for sure.
With 4 rounds, it's all going to come down to making the least amount of mistakes.
Yeah, and we're heading down to my track now, so you know, I've never been beaten there, so I know I feel pretty confident about taking some good points out of that. So hopefully got a commanding lead going into the last round, and then can just, you know, because you never know in Supercross, you see how tight the first corner is, you can run into trouble. So just want to be steady away at the last round and hopefully take the championship.
The 3rd round of the 2011 Backflips New Zealand Supercross Champs in association with Demon Energy Drinks was held at the Rat Track near Nelson. Motueka is Josh Coppins' hometown, so look out for a strong run for the MXDK Rockstar Yamaha star, while in SX Lights they're all chasing the Timaru Honda of Craig Smith. Like Taupo at the previous round, Nelson laid on the fine weather with lots of action on and off the track for the top of the South Supercross fans. First up, it's the SX Lights. Round 3 of the championship here at Motueka at the Rat Track. Saunders with the whole shot. Jackson Richardson gets the run off the berm, and through to the lead goes the Australian. Spectacular layout here in Motueka. And again, quite a different course layout from the first round at Tokoroa and Taupo. Craig Smith with the pass on Saunders to 2nd. Championship leader going into the round. 13 clear of Nick Saunders with Peter Broxham in the third position, but it would be the young Australian taking out the first heat victory in SX Lights from championship leader Craig Smith and Honda's Peter Broxham. Heat 2 highlights. Again, the start all important down to the first turn. Craig Smith this time with the whole shot. Looking to turn the tables on the young Australian. Smith on the Timaru Honda CRF. Jackson Richardson on the Team Fly Green Kawasaki KXF 250. And he was closing down Craig Smith. Right in behind the championship leader in heat number 2. Fast and flowing race course. Richardson to the inside with the block pass. New race leader. Jackson Richardson looking for 2 from 2. Here in Motueka at the rat track. And that's how it would finish. Richardson with the victory. Richardson 2 from 2. Craig Smith second, with third the number 50 of Isaiah McGoldrick.
Craig Smith's still out front. I've managed to get in front of Nick Saunders, which is kind of cool. So try and keep that going, I guess. But always the challenge is to get out front. That's the key. When you get on a roll, you know, like what Craig's got on, so, you know, you go really well. But then if something trips you up, and think it can really go the opposite way. He had a really bad start at Tokoroa, and you never know. So, you know, just keep in there and try and be solid. I had some bad things happen to me yesterday at the South Island Champs, so I just sort of eased my way back in, and with the Nationals in mind, and really look forward to putting in a big effort at Timaru.
South Island Champs yesterday, not too bad, ended up third there, but tweaked my shoulder pretty good yesterday, and just trying to survive the day today. A couple of 6th places, so not really where I want to be, but just making the best of the situation, really.
So the championship chase on. Nick Saunders trying to close the gap to Craig Smith. Jackson Richardson, the spoiler in the points, didn't contest the first round in Tokoroa. Ethan Munns with the race lead from Craig Smith. Jackson Richardson's tied up in that. Looked like Peter Broxham was in there as well. Third in the points going into the round. So Craig Smith, big inside run with the block pass on Ethan Martins. The Timaru Honda back in front. Martins back into third in the YZF Yamaha. Smith looking to consolidate his championship lead. Peter Broxham getting delayed, and Nick Smith back in third for the third heat. Smith, Kane Lamont second, Nick Saunders in third. So after 3 rounds, Craig Smith leads on 149 points. Peter Broxham back up into second on 118, just 1 point ahead of Nick Saunders, followed by Kane Lamont, Tom Manor, and Jackson Richardson. And coming up after the break, round 3 highlights from the SX Open class from Motueka. Welcome back to Motueka as we continue our coverage from round 3 of the Backflips New Zealand SuperCross Championships. And it's on to the open class. Josh Coppins, hometown favourite here, of course, former World Championship motocross star. Finished number 2 in the world. He's back in home territory, looking to maintain his points lead. Heat number 1. Justin McDonald and Michael Phillips with great starts. Cody Cooper back there in about the 4th position, 5th position. He's even further back than that. Coppins going to war with McDonald for the 2nd spot as Phillips leads the first heats. Phillips riding the Honda Hamilton Pirelli CRF 450 Honda. Josh Coppins, though, got around him mid-race. Going on to take the first heat victory on the MXDK Rockstar Yamaha from Justin McDonald and early race leader Michael Phillips. Heat 2, round 3 Motueka. Coppins with the first heat victory. Cody Cooper second in the points, could only manage 4th in the first heat. Again, it's a Honda whole shot. Coppins back to 3rd. Phillips and McDonald side by side on the 2 Hondas. Big moment there for McDonald, trying to hold off Phillips, who had 3 downs at the previous round in Taupo. Justin McDonald looking for his first victory, taking the win from Phillips and Coppins.
You know, I've ridden this track for a few years now and just excited to ride and just, you know, just being focused and knowing what I've got to do and just really enjoying it, and that's what it's all about.
It's really hard out there. The other guys are very fast and there's not a lot I can do to really make a difference. So it's a lot of it's in the start and just ride well, and Justin got away there and I just settled into third, and that I tried to come on to second but couldn't do it in that last race. So one more and try and win that one, and sort of always got the championship in the back of my mind as well. So started off today with Cody closest to me and now Justin's closest, so just do the best we can do.
I'm just hard to pass, and it's real dusty, so I'm being real cautious, and I've had two bad starts, so it's all in the start here, so I've got to put myself in a good spot, I suppose, and then work from there.
So Cody Cooper struggling with a 4th and a 5th place finish after 2 races. Josh Coppins and Justin McDonald with the winner piece battling for the round honours. It's another Honda hole shot out in front. I think it was Phillips that got through to the lead again. Coppins slots into second. Big battle for third and behind Phillips and Coppins. There's the gap for the race leaders. Dry and dusty conditions, but beautiful sunny weather in Nelson for round 3 of the backflips New Zealand Supercross champs. McDonald right up there. He's applying the pressure to Josh Coppins for second. Phillips leads. McDonald rides around Josh Coppins. Coppins trying to get him back off the infield. Honda's 1 and 2. Yamaha in 3rd. Jesse Wickie in the 4th position. Cody Cooper back there in 5th again. So a big points gain here for Josh Coppins in the championship. Battle for the lead. Phillips versus McDonald. McDonald looking for his 2nd win in the round victory. Phillips trying to come back at him on the inside. The reigning New Zealand motocross champ, Justin McDonald, through to the lead. Coppins is still back there in 3rd. Cody Cooper working on Jesse Wickie for the 4th spot. Spectacular action from Motueka in the rack track. McDonald looking for the round victory. There's Josh Coppins back there in 3rd, a lonely 3rd place at the moment. He's got nothing for the Hondas out in front as Cody Cooper goes to work on Wickie for the 4th spot. Needs to get around the number 75 Honda, based out of Hamilton on the Honda Shop CRF 450. Cooper through to 4th. Much needed points in that battle between himself and Coppins for the championship with 1 round left to go. McDonald takes the Heat 3 victory from Motueka, from Michael Phillips and Josh Coppins. McDonald with the round victory at Motueka, closing him to within 10 points of the championship lead held by Josh Coppins. Cody Cooper falls back to 3rd on 135, followed by Michael Phillips, Jesse Donnelly and Jesse Wickie. So it's on to the final round of the Backflips New Zealand Supercross Championships, and after a stunning weekend in Nelson, the team's headed south to Timaru and the Backflips Supercross Park. Craig Smith has control of the SX Light Championship lead, but behind him the battle rages between Peter Broxham and Nick Saunders, while Josh Coppins holds a slender 10-point advantage over a charging Justin McDonald. Again, the fans pack Timaru for some close-up Supercross action. Onto the first heat for SX Lights. Craig Smith looking to tie up the championship. The battle to watch between Saunders and Broxham. Kawasaki versus Honda. Smith with the hole shot. Home track advantage here for Craig Smith. Just about didn't contest the 2nd round of the championship in Taupo. He's glad he did, because he left Taupo with the championship lead, and since then he's never been headed. Jackson Richardson with a couple of wins at the previous round in Motueka. Craig Smith maintaining that championship lead. Smith making a mistake on lap 2 of 6. That gives the lead to Kane Lamont on the RMZ 250. Team Power Balance Suzuki though. Smith coming back at him after that mistake. Back into the lead for the Timaru Honda. So Kane Lamont here with a strong run in heat number 1. Peter Broxham and Nick Saunders further back. Craig Smith still chased here by Kane Lamont. And Lamont with the mistake. Down goes the Suzuki. A hard landing. Probably better off for him. It was into the water. Peter Broxham down. That should gain an advantage for Nick Saunders in the battle for 2nd in the championship. No such problems for Craig Smith though. He will take the victory in heat number 1. All he needs to do in heat number 2 is finish in 2nd to tie up the championship. Zy McGoldrick in 2nd in heat number 1, with Nick Saunders in 3rd. Heat 2, again Smith with the hole shot. just needs to finish second here to tie up the SX Lights Championship. A big down over the whoops. That's Isaiah McGoldrick, who finished second in the first heat. His race looks to be over. Smith from Saunders. There's Peter Broxham in the fourth position, now third. Gets the pass on the 7:31 Suzuki of Matthew Sutherland. So Craig Smith leads, Nick Saunders second. Battles in behind. Oh, that's one of the Suzukis going down hard. I think that might have been the 7:31 of Sutherland again. Craig Smith, things under control. Championship victory coming up. Just needs to cruise around in the third one. Craig Smith wins the second heat and the SX Lights Championship. Nick Saunders in second in the race, Peter Broxham in third. So Craig Smith, the new champion. The battle is between Broxham and Saunders for second and third in the championship. Saunders with the whole shot. Smith settles back into the third position. Kane Lamont in second. Smith up the inside from third to the lead. Saunders drives back around him. So Nick Saunders and Peter Broxham in a battle for the championship for second overall. Going into the round, Broxham had a 1 point advantage, but he's lost 7 points to Saunders, who's now second in the championship. All he has to do is finish in front of Peter Broxham, and that's where he is at the moment. Smith with the race lead again from Kane Lamont. So Nick Saunders looking to tie up second overall from Peter Broxham. Smith already with the SX Lights Championship for the backflips, New Zealand SuperCross champs. Kane Lamont mounts a challenge on Smith through to the lead. Goes the team power balance. Suzuki. Craig Smith back to third now with Saunders getting around him. So more advantage for Saunders in that battle for second in the championship between himself and Broxham. So Kane Lamont looking for the victory. Nick Saunders in second. Craig Smith's now just cruising around in third. He's actually gone down a lap to Lamont and Saunders. Kane Lamont looking for the victory on the team power balance Suzuki RNZ 250. Nick Saunders in second, Peter Broxham in third, and that's enough for Saunders to pick up second in the championship. Craig Smith winning the championship overall on 199 points. Nick Saunders second on 166, Peter Broxham in third on 159.
Words can't describe how good this feeling is. It's just good, all showing all the hard work paying off. But no, I just can't thank Timu Honda enough for all they've done for me, and my dad for all his help during it the whole year. Without those guys, I wouldn't be able to get where I am today, and now it's mint.
Me and Broxy, it came down to the last round, and there was 1 point in it. And you know, bike ran great all night, got good starts. And you know, just took it lap by lap and ended up taking out the number 2 spot.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest. But on the other hand, I'm really stoked for Nick Saunders because he put in a really good effort today. He just rode solid, and especially for Craig, you know, winning his first national championship, it's such a good buzz for him. So yeah, really stoked for them. And yeah, I know I've got a bit of work to do, but we'll get back up and hopefully be ready for the nationals.
So it's congratulations to Craig Smith on the Timu Honda Fly Shoei Bridgestone CRF 250, the New Zealand SX Lights Supercross champ. So it's the big one for the Opens, the final 3 heats. Can Josh Coppins hold off at charging Justin McDonald for the Supercross title? Ben Townley won it last year, no Townley this year. Sadly, he was injured before the start of the championship. Great to see Josh Coppins back in New Zealand though. He's back there in 4th at the start of the first heat. Justin McDonald out in front. Michael Phillips, here comes Coppins to the inside. Cody Cooper's right there with them. Cooper slipped back into the 3rd points after Motueka, and there's just 10 points the difference between Coppins and McDonald. 20 points for a win, 17 for second, 15 for third in each of the 3 heats. So a little bit like Tokoroa, muddy conditions, seen dry and dusty conditions at Taupo and Nelson. Justin McDonald controlling the pace out in front, but Coppins is not too far away from him. Michael Phillips in the 3rd position. Cody Cooper in 4th. There's the top 3. There's Cooper going through back a shot. Coppins to the inside of McDonald. Can't get the momentum. McDonald holds on to the lead to the whoops. Michael Phillips, down goes the 105 into the hay bales. Cooper into 3rd. Phillips Phillips makes the mistake on the Honda Hamilton CRF 450. He loses a further spot to Jesse Wickie. But it's going to be Justin McDonald gets 3 points back. The championship lead now just 7 between himself and Josh Coppins. Coppins in second, Cody Cooper in third. Heat number 2, just 7 points the difference. Coppins leads for McDonald with 2 heats left to go. Again, it's another Honda hole shot. This time it's McDonald. Phillips is there, Coppins is there. Cooper just having a look over his shoulder. Jesse Wickie gets the inside run on him. Coppins looking for the lead to the inside through the whoops, 3 wide. Phillips in the middle, McDonald on the outside. Phillips with the block pass on McDonald. Coppins back into the lead. Phillips drills up alongside. Coppins though back to the lead. Needs to try and finish ahead of Justin McDonald. The gap just 7 points at the start of heat number 2 with the win for Justin McDonald. Spectacular action from Timaru, the final round of the backflips New Zealand Supercross Championships. Lap 4 of 6, Coppins, still chased by Phillips. Phillips with the mistake, that's going to hand second spot to McDonald. So the gap at the moment is back to 10 points, that's how it started at the beginning of the first heat. Phillips will gather it back up and hold on to third ahead of Cody Cooper. So the championship lead back to 10 points. Coppins takes the win in heat 2 from Justin McDonald. Michael Phillips in third after that mistake. So it's down to this, the final heats. Coppins with the hole shot. Big block pass down the inside from Phillips. But Coppins comes through the whoops and leads. Looking to tie up the New Zealand Supercross title. His first time back in New Zealand for nearly 10 years off the World Motocross Championship trail. The MXDK Rockstar Yamaha. Chased by Michael Phillips, Justin McDonald back in third. McDonald with the mistake. Well, that's really game over for the reigning New Zealand Motocross champ. All Coppins needs to do is finish this third heat. Josh Coppins on his way to victory for the third and final heat and the SX Championship for the open class. Coppins with the win in the third heat. Michael Phillips second, Cody Cooper in third. On to the final points. Josh Coppins with the overall victory, 218 points. Justin McDonald second on 188. Cody Cooper third on 178 points.
I knew it would be hard. I spoke to Ben Townley when he was back last summer, and he said, "Man, racing in New Zealand's hard. The tracks are, the tracks suit the guys hang it out, and it's not easy." And I knew it wouldn't be, but I thought I had enough experience, and I knew as I got better and better with the Yamaha and figured things out that I'd get better. So there's definitely enough depth here. It's just a matter of getting this depth to ride how they ride here overseas, and that's the key. When we can do that, we're going to have winners overseas again.
It all sort of worked into plan in some ways, and in other ways it didn't, but I needed probably a better start for the season in the first round to follow through, and I think I did pretty well against Josh and the rest of the guys, and I just look forward to next year and progressing even more, and that's what the goal is.
Bad starts let me down, I think, and just a little bit of I hurt my shoulder in the qualifier little heats we had this morning, and I didn't have the strength in it. It was got a bit rough there, and I just couldn't hold on like the other guys, and they were riding really fast. So.
Well, what a return to New Zealand for Josh Coppins, taking out the open class in the New Zealand Supercross champs in the MXDK Rockstar Yamaha.
Time now to turn back the clock to 2001. A lot happened that year, including the infamous attack on the Twin Towers on 9/11. The event we're showing from 2001 is the World Series jet spinning, and it's the Big Horse Bass Superboats from a track carved out inside the Manfield Raceway.
racing mad country. Whether it is water sports or the national game of rugby football, Kiwis love their sport. The wild countryside is a paradise for outdoor pursuits, a land of rivers and mountains, a land of farming, and the home of the sport of jet sprinting. Round 5 of World Series for Superboats was at Manfield Aqua Track and Fielding in New Zealand's North Island. The Aqua Track and Fielding is popular with drivers and spectators alike. It has a very long opening straightaway followed by the legendary Speedball, a flat-out 360-degree turn. A clay-based course, the water changes during the day and the narrow channels can cause many problems. The early qualifying run saw profitable navigation in the middle part of the course, and the Manfield Speedball was also proving difficult for some. Sensation Nathan Purdy was also struggling early on.
I mean, I'm still learning about this thing, so I want to find out what it's going to do. So I need to, otherwise then, even if we're lucky enough to get into the top 4, well, I've got to know what it's capable of doing.
Throughout the morning, Purdy pushes 1,300 horsepower Aussie pit cheap as hard as possible. But in the first of eliminations, disaster strikes for the young Aussie.
It's a hell of a sport when you make one mistake and you're out, but I suppose that's the same at any top-level sport.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why, I'm real hard on myself at the moment because having a good result last week and then this, it just puts you out of the running for these sort of series. But, we'll give it a good shot next week and I'll have to make amends now.
Purdy's rival from the last round, Peter Coley, was also pushing hard. His early runs were right on the money, but at the end of the morning, it wasn't Coley on top of the qualifying list. It was fellow Kiwi, Eric Huxima.
You're obviously driving a lot harder than everybody else, so when you're charging through that difficult turn 1, why?
I'm totally confident in the boat. I know I'm going to get round. I do jump the boat on 1 or 2 corners, but I'm not losing time, and for me to compete in the final, I really need to get on top of it and keep putting the times down.
Eric Huxima was on a charge at his home track. He led the times into the first round of eliminations. However, though, he broke the golden rule of jet sprinting. To finish first, you have to finish.
What went wrong?
I think the boat was just a little unstable as I gunned it down the straight. We'd run the boat very high and we had a lot of trim on and got the thing really out of the water, and possibly we should have cooled it down a little there.
Look, there's a lot of pressure on you in this World Series. You came into it, you cleaned up in America, you were very dominant in New Zealand Series. You come into this series and the pressure's all on you. Are you feeling that pressure?
No, not at all. I think probably what I am finding is that I haven't got that real determination to win. There's a bit of self-preservation coming into my thoughts now, which I didn't have before. And maybe I just need a bit of a rest, but I still want to win, but I haven't got that burning desire that I had before.
Peter Bryan was just about a half a second or so off the pace of qualifying, but did enough to come through to the top end and keep the championship chase alive. One of his closest rivals for the World Series crown, Chris Barnes, was a man on a mission, finally getting to grips with his brand new boat. Barnes was easily the fastest man on the water, topping the first round times. And we are ready for the top qualifiers. Rodney Polio, Dave Hopkins, Peter Bryant, Dave Smale, his son Leon Smale at number 2, and the quickest of the field of 16 down to the field of 10, Chris Barnes and the Exterminator.
So we're into the top 8. Well, not a top 8 here at Manfield today. It's a top 10 because we had a bit of a tie at the bottom of the order. First to go, it is Graham Minchin in the Union 76 boat. Now, Minchin has never driven a superboat before, Jack, and I tell you what, it's pretty daunting driving a boat this size with this much power around the Manfield auto track. It is very, very fast indeed. He'll be looking for about an 18-second pass, I would think, to get him to the split time, maybe to get into the 4.
Good fortune indeed has shined upon Graham Minchin today due to the fact that Eric Huxima and Nathan Purdy are out. This is an opportunity for him to throw down the said, guys, I am a Super Bowl driver now, and I want to be considered serious here. He was a 1996 Group A champion for New Zealand, but the times that he's got right now, is pushing right now, may not make it into the Final Four.
Well, he's got his work to do here, Jack, because the boat's only a 350 supercharged engine. It's not the bigger horsepower, 1,000 horsepower things we see in the super boats and the things we're going to see a little bit later on. So let's have a look as he works his way down towards the finish line now. Is he going to be good enough to get into the 4? Maybe not with a time like that, you know. 60-14, probably not going to be good enough.
Look at this shot. On board with Peter Coey and Ian Stevens, the longest straightaway from the World Series jet spring on the infield of Manfield. Watch this with Peter Coey immediately will turn to the left and go into the speedball. 475 cubic inch small block Chevrolet. And this is the man I would say today is the one to beat. If you can put it in about 17 seconds on the split time, we'll have a good pass going. Take a look at the clock. Split time, 17:53.
Well, he's on the money, Jack, and you predicted it just right. And Peter Coey was a bit of a shock winner, I think, anyway, in the first round in New Zealand in Taupo just a couple of weeks ago. We know he can do it. He's very, very smooth on the water. Look at the way the boat just sits there with the nose down. That's the secret to a good fast run. We're back on board here. Look at these spectacular
See the times right there. He has been at the bottom end of 50 seconds, but by cutting the corners just right and taking Kins in the second off, he might be able to get this thing down to the 49 seconds. For Peter Coey for the Super Bowl. What's going to take place on the clock? Keep an eye on it. 48, 49. Look at that. 49, 81.
It's a discipline. It's a discipline I must adhere to, and the discipline is to focus on driving the boat from now on. And I just walked away on my own and just psyched myself in that regard.
Well, a quiet time over for Jeremy O'Driscoll, Aussie True Blue. Now, he has been uncharacteristically slow in the first round of World Series here in New Zealand at Taupo a couple of weeks ago. Didn't go good at all, but they've made some changes to the boat. He's gone quick already in the qualifying rounds and also into the eliminations. He's into the top 8, or in this case, the top 10. He's done a sub 50, so are we going to see something special for the godfather of jet sprinting worldwide? You'd have to say the man, the brains behind the series.
17.90, that's right, Phil. A very good time for Jeremy O'Driscoll, the man that has a passion behind World Series jet sprinting. And man, what tools do he's got to, not only has he got to be the promoter for the series, he's also got to concentrate on being the guy that's going to get himself into the field of 4. Jeremy O'Driscoll from Perth, Australia.
Got to be under the 50-second mark, Jack. He looks in pretty good shape to do that. Round to the final turn now. Look for the clock. Watch for a sub 50-second run. There it is. 49.85. So he just squeaks there, but he doesn't.
Coming up next is a logging contractor from Taupo. This is Red Smith, and I've got story time about Red Smith. First of all, the 440 Ronak engine that he's running came out of the Vince Kuba Super Bowl boat from America after he destroyed it in World Series competition in Spokane. And the first time I was ever behind the wheel of a super boat on the Marsing International Speedboat track in Marsing, Idaho, in America, my navigator was Red Smith. He said, let's go for a ride, let's see what we can do. And then he looked at me and says, am I stupid or what? So, my buddy Red Smith, Hydrolink.
Must have been a big boat, Jack. You're a big guy. Maybe you're doing a slow pass. Who knows? Big Jack telling it like it is here at Manfield for the second round of the New Zealand Swinging World Series. We're watching Red Smith from Taupo, and have a look as the seconds tick by. Oh, a little bit of a problem there. Just got up on the land a little bit, up on the island. He wants to be around the 50-second mark. He's over it. That ain't going to be good enough, Jack. He's on the trailer.
Onboard shot once again with the gentleman we call Mr. Smooth, been away from the sport for about 18 months. Now what he did, Rocky Pogo knew at that time the big block Chevrolets were key to Super Bowls, but now they have found out that you can take the small blocks and get just as much performance out of them, and that's what Rocky Pogo has got with him today is the small block Chevrolet. Keep your eye on the split time. They'd like to have it in the mid-17 seconds to set themselves up for the Final Four if at all possible. 17:95 split time.
Great time for Rodney Bay. I've been out of the sport for quite a while. A lot of people missed it, but now he's back. Didn't have probably the result he wanted in Taupo a fortnight ago. And look at that, he crosses over his own weight. It's a real problem for the superboats here as he works his way up into the back end of the course now. Watch Poppy Hopkins and Belinda Collins. Now, they're really going to be up against it because this boat, if you like, if you can believe it, is a budget boat. It's not an aluminium block engine, it's a cast iron block. It's a 440 cubic inch motor, but it hasn't got the horsepower, the Rodney Poios, the Jeremy O'Driscolls, the Peter Coeys. And if any track's going to find him out, it's going to be Manfield. So what's the split here? 17-18, you see, he's slow.
Oh, way off on the split time. 18:36 for Dave Hopkins from the deep south of New Zealand in Mount Clother. I hope I got that right. The 440 Rodak engine with the cast iron block and alloy heads. And some say that's not a good combination, but Dave Hopkins has been able to make it work. The magic time now has got to be 49 seconds.
What the hell was that, Jack? Mel Clutha. Never go to the South Island, my friend. Have a look at this. Is he going to get under the 51? That's the fastest he's gone so far. He's not going to do it. 51.12. He's on the trailer as well. That's not good enough for the Southern man.
What you're looking at here is possibly the future of the sport. The young lion, as he's called. Leon Smale, Curly's number 2 in the point standings behind Peter Bryant. However, though, with the disappointment that he had in Taupo, he's going to have to put himself against the wall like he's never done before. It's the Hyperlink sponsor, Leon Smale, piloted 632 big block at 18:29 on the split time.
Tell you what, I don't know if it's going to be good enough.
From Perth, Australia, Dad Leon Schmale is going to be coming up here in just a little bit. Is going to be leaving the sport to concentrate on the future of the career of his son, Leon Schmale. Take a look at the clock. A 49-second would be spectacular. It's not going to happen for young Leon. How about a 51.73?
Leon, wasn't what you wanted for that run. Not what I wanted to know, but I think we found the problem now. We had a engine mount bolt come loose in the block, which was pumping water into the boat. So by the end of the run, I had about 60 litres of water in the back, so it wasn't helping.
We were lucky when we were in America. We just had a huge advantage on everyone, and I always knew that was going to go. And when we did the New Zealand champs, we just went out and did enough each round because there was no point. I mean, you can't win the race in the first qualifier. You can't win the race in the 8 cut or the 4 cut. You have to go through the end. So the policy's just been to go through, make sure we do enough to qualify it for each next round, and then stand on at the final.
Well, there we are. We're on board with Peter Bryant and Robert Fox. In fact, we're perched on Robert Fox's shoulder as we get set to go down the longest straight World Series jet finish, around about 95 miles an hour for this 1,000 horsepower monster. And you heard the philosophy there from Peter Bryant saying exactly what he needs to do. Well, maybe we're not going to see the fastest he can go at the moment. He's already done a sub 50-second run, or very close to it. We're looking for a split time around about the 17.5 mark. 17.74.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Great split time for Peter Bryant and Robert Fox, 17.74. You'll notice with the driving styles of Peter Bryant, he'll need out of the smart driver on the track. The reason for that, he is on the edge all the time. Trying to get the extra 42 off of the corner. What an awesome shot. Peter Bryant on the onboard camera.
Well, Peter Bryant had a fantastic World Series up in America, and he's continued it here in New Zealand. He didn't win in our previous round at Taupo. That went to Peter Coey. But boy, oh boy, he's got the bit between his two hands here. He wants to win this race. He wants to get into the final 4. 49.57. That's going to do it for him. The man from Gisborne has done enough. Next to go, this is David Smale from Australia. Already seen Leon the Wild Child Smale, his son, go beforehand in Hyperlink. This is Gates. Once again, it's a big block engine. It's got mega horsepower, but it really does pay the price, especially here at Manfield when we get into the twisty stuff, because the boat is very, very heavy indeed. You heard Leon say that they had a problem with his boat, and it shipped about 60 litres of water into the back of the boat. That slowed it down. Hopefully Dad won't have those problems. The shotgun hull and the 632 cubic inch big block engine, something like 1,000 horsepower. Look at the wake he throws up as he goes through the speed bomb. Fastest time so far. A little bit off the pace of the front runners now. 50.79. Going to have to do a whole lot better than that. And you saw there on the split, he was off there as well. So the Aussie from Perth really got his work cut out from here. He wants to run 49 or better. I think he's going to be off that pace. Yeah, look at that. 51.49. That isn't going to be good enough for David Smale.
think you've got to be there at the end of the day, so you've got to drive pretty defensively, I'd say, and try and be in there. You don't need to be in there with the fastest time. You've got to be there to go from that 8 to 4 to 2, whatever.
Well, this is Chris Barnes, an exterminator, a man that had problems in the United States Swing of World Series. Big Jack joined us from having a look down at the pits to see what all the gossip is. What do you think, Jack? This is going to be some run. Barnes has been on fire here at Manfield. He loves the high speed. They've got the boat sorted out. The brand new Backcraft Kendrick Dart combination is working well. Watch for a 17 and change split, I would think. 17:36.
Oh, look at that. 17:36. Absolutely the best split time of the day. The exterminator by ready to throw down the gauntlet. Chris Barnes wants out of here with a Super Bowl win today to bring him up in the standings for World Series Jet Sprint. Remember, he is number 5 in the points, and he's going to have to run himself a sub 50-second to do it. 49.50 to a lower 49 would be absolutely perfect for the exterminator.
So Barnes from Rotorua on the journey. Ex-rally driver knows all about getting sideways, but getting sideways is one of these things. It scrubs off precious seconds. That's the last thing on the mind of the man from Rotorua. 49.30. So Chris Barnes tops the table as we go down to the final 4. Peter Bryant from Gisborne is second. Peter Coey from Christchurch in New Zealand. And the Aussie rounds out the 4 with Jeremy O'Driscoll in Aussie True Blue.
You must be a bit happier than you were early on in the day, Jeremy.
Well, I sure got out of jail there. I had a beast of a day, and I guess the ingredient of success is you need to get angry and you need to pound that thing and you need to throw caution to the wind, and that's what I did in the end, and the boat sat beautifully, and when you come back in again you think, why didn't I pound it harder? But that's the way it is.
Aussie True Blue, the 4 quickest passes will all into 49. He had the slowest of the 49 passes, making it into the final 4 with a 49.85. This is the man behind World Series Jet Sprinting. I think this man lives on about 15 minutes of sleep a day. You know, he's go all the time. Split time 17.85.
He said that he needs to get angry. He needs to get angry and get into the boat and really make this one count. Pounding away was another word you heard him use in the interview. That's what he's doing at the moment. Great split time for him. He's on target for a sub 50-second run, I would think here. 49.85 to get this far. He's got to go quicker than that if he wants to beat the Kiwis.
Aussie True Blue and Jeremy O'Driscoll. He is 5/100ths of a second quicker on his split time from the field of 10, which actually should have been the field of 8, but because of the tight times, but we're now down to the final 4. And O'Driscoll with a 49.80. 49.80 under by 5/100ths of a second.
So we're on board here with Peter Coey and Ian Stevens from Christchurch in New Zealand, South Island. They're taking these brilliant onboard shots about to rocket our way down the longest straightaway in World Series Jet Sprinting. That is the claim to fame here at the Manfield Aquatrack. NZ, the boat. Peter Coey, the man that won the previous round in Taupo. So he is in a hot streak. He's already done a 49.81, and that was in qualifying into the top 8. Well, as we said, it was the
His
top 10.
last split time was a 17.53. He's off by about 6/100ths of a second. Probably won't have a lot of bearing on the pass because he likes the second half of the track as opposed to the first half. And he will prove it. Oh, look at the onboard camera. Watch the way he cuts the corners. Look at it, way up on the side.
49.81 is fastest in the top 10 qualifying. The hallmark of Peter Coey is how smooth he gets around the racetrack. Look how close he cuts to the island. But the time is going to tell him if it's going to work for him. He gets very close there, nearly goes around. Watch for the time, it wants to be around the 49. 49.08, that's the fastest we've seen.
There you go. Peter Coey had just thrown down the gauntlet. The quickest pass of the day for the Super Bowl to the 49.01. You're going to have to run a 48 to get into the final 2. And if anybody's going to have a chance to do it, it's going to be Peter Bryant and Robin Fox. Watch the way he cuts the islands. He may not be the smoothest driver out there on the track, but he knows how to pick up tenths of time. Watch the split time. Watch it, watch it. 17.92, they're off just a little bit.
Well, maybe it's not going to matter, Jack, because he knows how to bring the boat home fast. That's exactly what we saw with Peter Coey. The smooth driving, as you said.
for Peter Bryant.
Last man to go in the top 4 here at Manfield, and it is the man from Rotorua. This is Chris Barnes. And as I said before, he has sorted this boat out. They've got the 1,000 horsepower Kendrick Dart working well. The new Macraft is sparkling as well. And watch for the split time. I wouldn't be surprised, Big Jack, if we see a sub-49 second run here from Rotorua's Chris Barnes. Looking for about a 16 and change split. No, it's going to be off 17.65.
Look at that at 17 and a 48. A 48-second pass. It's got to be a 48-second pass, and if it is, that means we're going to have ourselves a Chris Barnes, Peter Coey final, because Peter Coey's at a 49.01. We're 35 seconds. The Exterminator, Chris Barnes.
Well, he's done it before. Round 2, you see there on your screen, 48.29. Pulled a bit of a surprise on the big crowd here at Manfield. What did he do this time round? Will we see this on 49? We do. 48.85. It means nothing but the 2 in the final. It's Coey versus Barnes. So round 4 of World Series, and it's 2 Kiwis at the top. Chris Barnes will fight it out with Peter Coey. We caught up with the fastest qualifier, Mr. Barnes.
In that top corner, have you tried different line?
Yeah, there is a certain line to take through there, and you've got to have that precise every run.
What do you, when you come up to that corner, what are you looking for? You know, what's going through your mind as you come around that speed bowl and head towards the money corner?
It's the wake that's coming off the corner. You've already done the speed bowl, and it's coming back off the far bank, and just where you are on that and how you cut through that is how it sets you up for the corner.
And that's what a lot of drivers have been concerned about all day, but it doesn't really matter now because we're only down to 2 drivers remaining. The one that gets into the final 2 is Peter Coey with a 49.01. He has one shot only. It's the Hero Zero syndrome, if you will. Champ or jump. Oh, look at the onboard camera. Watch how close he cuts the islands. Split time, what's it going to be? It shows 17.59.
Well, he's off just a little bit, Jack, and you can't afford to be that way when you've got someone the quality and the aggression of Chris Barnes waiting in the wings. So that'll be going through the mind of Peter Coey at the moment. He's getting great instruction from his co-driver Ian Stevens as they work their way up into the twisty section. High-speed stuff here at Manfield.
With the onboard camera, the clock counting on the upper right-hand corner. He has one shot at it only because he knows the Exterminator Chris Barnes has already ran his mid 48-second pass. And for Coey, what's it going to be? Oh, look at there, 48.75, 48.75. 48.75, Peter Coey has got it.
Well, I tell you what, Jack, I don't think it's going to be good enough. This guy has been in the 48s all afternoon from round 2, and then pumped another 48 when he went into the top 4. I think he can do it again here in the top 2. Remains to be seen if he can get under the 48.50 or thereabouts to make it stick on Peter Coey. Chris Barnes from Rotorua, ex-New Zealand rally driver, ex-North Island champion, and of course a champion in his own right, both world and national.
The passing from Peter Coey goes an extremely fast 48.75, quickest of the day in the rounds of elimination. And this is going to be the pass of the day. Just watch what happens here. He's trying to make up valuable rounds of the World Series jet sprinting in Super Bowl. It is Chris Barnes and the Exterminator. Take it to the finish, Phil.
Thanks, Big Jack. Not too much of this one left to go. Is he going to be a hero? Is he going to be a zero? The man from Rotorua, he's looking for a 48 and change. Let's see what happens. Coming into the finish line now. 48.32. That'll do it. Chris Barnes goes back to the top at World Series and picks the man from Christchurch. So, Chris Barnes back on top and Exterminator. 48.32. Too good for Peter Coey of Christchurch's 48.75.
Hell of a final.
Yeah, it was a hard final. It was. She's a bit of a track, this one, for carnage, and there's a couple of corners in there that really catch you. So it was really good.
You looked like you were on the money all day, though. Happy with the boat?
Yeah, happy with the boat. Happy with the way it's handling. Happy with my co-driver. Happy with Jeff Kendrick engines and everybody that helped me. It was a great day. Great racing.
2 Americans, Ben Badiola and Dale Barger, number 7 and 8. Ruby Schuler, number 6. Another American, Mark Roberts, at number 5. Dave Schmale, number 4. Chris Barnes up to number 3. Leon Schmale, number 2. And still on top of the points, Peter Bryant, number 1, New Zealand Seafoods.
We hope you enjoyed the show, and you can catch back episodes of Retro Motorsport on our YouTube channel, Sky Channel 83. See you next week.
You'd have to say as we're back on board with the circuit here at Pyra. Here's the race leaders. Oh, and there are all sorts of problems.
Oh, big carnage. Oh, straight to the barriers and through the smoke we come. What a crash!